Welcome to another edition of Alive and Kickin' on Location. I am Lisa Marie Benz, your host, and you know the whole focus of this show is to introduce you to local movers and shakers in the area, and I am so thrilled today to be sitting here next to Rick Derringer. My gosh, he's a rock and roll legend. He's
in the house.
Yes, and he's here for Hippie Fest, hence my beautiful headband. So you have had such a wonderful career, and
I've had a great life.
I know you have. And your first big hit was with your band, the McCoys, when you were only 17 years old. That's almost like the old version of Justin Bieber these days, right?
Yeah, yep, it was.
And I wanted you to know, I know that your big hit was Hang On Sloopy.
Correct.
And you know, I'm shopping all the time, so I found a little something for you.
Oh no.
I don't know if you've seen this yet, but see, it starts off as a card. It says, hey, feeling a little droopy, maybe even a little loopy? Does life generally not seem too whoopy? Sometimes all you can do is... Can you believe Hallmark
Hang on, Sloopy.
Hallmark is even capitalizing on your wonderful songs.
I wonder if they're paying me. That's the question.
Well, you just have to contact your lawyer. That's all it. Right?
That's right.
So, and then 8 years after your big hit with the McCoys, you did your big hit was rock and roll Hoochie Coo, which everybody just still loves to this day. But what does Hoochie Coo mean?
Well, it was an exercise, just an intellectual exercise. I joined Johnny Winter's band, and they said Johnny needs some songs. He wants to be less blues and more rock. So I said, okay, well, he needs a song that pulls him into rock. So let's say rock and roll. And then I said, but he wants to still be in the blues, so what can we come up with that still sounds bluesy? And I said, Hoochie Coo. So all of a sudden I had a title, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, and then the exercise was, I wonder what this is about. And then you write the song.
Wow, and it's still your biggest hit to this day, would you say?
Well, Sloopy probably sold more in all, you know, because that was #1 all over the world. Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo has been very successful, certainly, in a lot of movies and commercials, and still goes on today. But one that people don't recognize, don't realize a lot, is my song called Real American. I am a real American. It was Hulk Hogan's theme for 20 years,
right.
25 years. And then after 9/11, it gained new significance because the lyrics really fit that whole storyline. And then when Barack Obama released his birth certificate a few months ago, he used that as the theme song for that event. So him showing his birth certificate while Real American is playing is over 3 million hits on YouTube right now. So that song is really gaining and surviving for a long time. So that's become one of my standards too. That's amazing. Amazing.
Yes, and a lot of people from Facebook were asking me, because they had questions for you, about your work with Hulk Hogan and the whole Wrestling Federation, and they all knew about that song, so that's great.
Yeah. There's another one I did that a lot of people like. There's a tag team called Demolition, and I sang their theme song as well. But the one that really stands up is a real patriotic song, Real American.
Yeah, and it's on your Facebook, or actually your website, rickderringer.com.
Yeah.
I was there today.
You can go on YouTube and just search for Real American long version, and I have a couple different videos on YouTube right now of that.
Great. Now we should also mention that Hang On Sloopy bumped yesterday off the charts.
Well, it was #1 while yesterday was #2.
That's awesome. Now, does Ringo ever bring that up to you?
Well, I used to tell the story before I'd play the song, and I asked Ringo, I said, is this okay for me to tell this story? And he said, it's okay with me, I didn't play on either one.
Oh, that was before. I know everyone just assumes Ringo was always with the Beatles.
Yeah, I think Yesterday is one of the kinds of songs where there's probably very little drums, and if there are any, it may not have been Ringo playing it.
Now, you working with Edgar Winter and Johnny Winter, have you seen the commercial with Edgar Winter in it for AT&T?
Yeah, that's the latest one. That's funny.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything though.
I look forward to seeing it every time though.
Yes. He has such pretty hair. So now in the 80s and 90s, you were involved in a whole slew of things with Weird Al, Barbra Streisand, Kiss, and Cyndi Lauper. And can you tell us about your working with Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah, well, Weird Al kind of found us. He wanted to do a single I Love Rocky Road was the song he wanted to do.
Okay.
And once I heard him, I said, man, you shouldn't be doing a single, you should do an album. So I went ahead without a record company and made his first album with him. And then went ahead and got the record company, the Scotty Brothers. And I was right. He was a big success right out of the box. The albums, one of them was a platinum album, a couple gold albums, 2 Grammy Award winning things. One was for the best comedy album one year, and one was for the best video, or Who's Fat. And
instead of Who's Bad by MJ.
It was a great success story. I had the first 6 albums by Weird Al were the ones I produced.
Great. Now, why don't we bring Weird Al back and have him do some Britney Spears parodies or
he's got
Justin
one right
Bieber?
Now. He's got one out right now, Lady Gaga parody, and it's called I Perform This Way. All your fans should go online and search for I Perform This Way. It's hilarious.
That's amazing. Now, are you still working with him at all?
No,
not at all.
No,
now, what
I talk
about
to him and see him all the time.
And what about Cyndi Lauper? Did you work with her at the
well, I helped
in her heyday?
I helped her get her record deal. She was with a band called Blue Angel, and Blue Angel was in danger of being dropped by their record company, and she asked me to help them. And I did some demos of possible songs that Blue Angel may do on their next album to play for her record company. And instead, the record company said, we like you, but more than we like the band. So they signed her to a solo record deal. And then I went ahead, because I helped her get that project, I went ahead and helped her on the whole True Colors tour and on the True Colors album.
That was her heyday, too, so you were right in there.
There's a great video called Cyndi Lauper Live in Paris. And if anybody wants to check that one out, that's hilarious, and I'm in that one too. But it's a live concert, but her conducting a tour of Paris.
Great! Now, in the Eat It video of Weird Al, a Facebook fan asked if that was you doing the guitar solo.
It is.
It is you?
It is me.
I looked, but it didn't. You must.
No, it wasn't. You don't see me.
Oh, okay.
You hear me.
Oh, okay. So
he has his own band. James West was the guy you see in the video. That's his guitar player. But on the record, I was the guy playing the
Because
solo.
I did research it to see if it was you, and I was like, that doesn't look like Rick.
No,
but
it doesn't look like.
But isn't that amazing what your fans know?
Yeah.
That they knew that. Oh, wow, that's amazing. So now, in 2006, you were featured in Fidelity Investments TV commercial.
Yep.
And then in 2007, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo was featured in the Xbox 360 version of Guitar Hero 2.
Yep.
Which will inspire the young teenage boys now to play like Rick, like you.
Well, I hope they don't get too good.
Well, now how did that come about? Did Guitar Hero contact you? And then
Guitar Hero is able to, as long as they pay their royalties properly and do all the proper legalities, they're able to go ahead and do whatever they want. So they didn't have to contact me in that case. They just had to pay me.
Okay.
And, you know, the Fidelity Commercial, that was a similar kind of thing. They were looking for somebody, they wanted to use the song and a guy that looked like a rocker in the commercial. And my agent just suggested, well, why don't you just use Rick then? And that was a great one too. That ran for about a year.
And then, of course, you've got your Rick Derringer signature model guitars.
Yeah, Warrior Guitars. I've been working with them for about 10 years now. They make great guitars, and they do a Rick Derringer model. I'll be playing them tonight, as a matter of fact, Warrior Guitars. And I also have an amplifier called the Rick Derringer Hyperdrive. And
Hyperdrive.
That's made by VVT, which stands for Vintage Vacuum Tubes. And now I'll be playing through those amplifiers tonight as well.
Now, how can fans get your guitars?
Well, you can go to Warrior Guitar online and see all the stuff that they sell. But it's a custom handmade company. So basically the best place to see them is if you go to a guitar show. There are guitar shows all over the place. There's one in Orlando periodically. And we're usually at most guitar shows. So you can actually go there and pick them up and play them, and then you can order whatever you want. You can either buy one at the show or you can get a custom-made guitar.
Great. All right. Well, we are so honored to get an interview with you tonight. So, and I know you're doing a great concert for Hippie Fest, and you got a big tour going on now. Where can other people find you? Where are you heading out now to?
Okay. The Hippie Fest show goes on to Georgia, Columbus, Georgia. We're in Houston, Texas. I wish I had the schedule in front of me. We're in Clearwater tomorrow at a place called Ruth Eckerd Hall here in Florida. And then I take a little bit off, and in November I go to South America with Ringo. We do a whole South American tour in November, and on and on and on.
And for more information, just go to rickderringer.com.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Rick. We really appreciate it. We're looking forward to a great concert, and remember to rock and roll your dreams away. Bye-bye.